I do need to say this. Did y'all see this tonight or today? The college football playoff is looking like it's going to be expanding to 14 teams. So we haven't even played in the 12-team playoff, and we're already trying to move to 14 teams. 4 of them, by the way, are going to be automatic qualifiers for both the Big Ten and the SEC, with 3 going to the ACC and Big 12, and a couple, I think maybe 3 at large. So it'd be 3, 6, 9. No, that wouldn't be. My math is off. Maybe I'm wrong on the number there, but 4 and 4 automatic bids, 3 and 3, and then the 3 at large in a group of 5. None of this makes sense anymore to me. None of it. It's all about money. There are no right decisions anymore in college football. Guys, there's not 12 teams in college football. More or less, there's not 14 teams in college football. When you expand this in 2026, by the way, we haven't even kicked off the first season of a 12-team playoff. We have no idea what this looks like. But guys, I got to tell you, there's not 12 teams. There will never be 12 teams that can compete for a I mean, just none of, they're not going to be able to compete to win a national championship in college football. Recruiting is still going to be a thing, and the teams that recruit the best, evaluate the best, I should say, not even recruit the best, but evaluate the best, develop the best, are always there. It's why Alabama and Georgia and Ohio State and LSU, it's why all of them are there. It's why LSU is second in national titles. Why Ohio State constantly gets to the playoff. It's why, honestly, Michigan got there. Forget your star ratings, ho. They evaluated their talent fantastically and developed it. And you're just not going to get 12 teams, much less 14 teams, that can compete for a national title. Guys, let me give you an example. LSU would have been in the playoff this year. Now, maybe LSU would have knocked off like a Penn State or somebody. Maybe. Sure, I'm with you. But they're not going to beat an Alabama team that they play the next week. Guys, it's hard to beat a good team twice, and I understand that. But we were not a good enough team. Penn State wasn't a good enough team. Ole Miss wasn't a good enough team. Missouri was not a good enough team. Those are the other teams in your playoff that would have to go up against Georgia, Florida State, barring a Jordan Travis injury, Washington, Texas, Alabama, Michigan. Those 4 teams were the best 4 or 5, 6 teams. And last year was different, but those teams all could have played for a national title with everything right. I still think Jordan Travis getting hurt was the only reason why you left out Florida State, and it is what it is. But there wasn't, like, even 2022, there wasn't 14 teams. In 21, there wasn't 14 teams. Guys, there wasn't really 2 teams. 2020, nobody was beating Bama. 2019, nobody was beating LSU. 2018, nobody was beating Clemson. Like, they all think it's a game. It's all about money for the suits. It's all about money that Greg Sankey, Tony Petiti can push to their conferences. That's all that this is. Their job is to make their conference money, and that's what the expansion does. Makes your conference more money. You know, the reason why I like college football more than the NFL is because it's not the NFL. Guys, you have 32 teams in the NFL, 53-man rosters. It's a completely different game and environment to that end. Now, they play the same game, but you get what I'm saying. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? The NFL can have their own structure on how they do and run things. You don't have to be like them, nor do you have to let bureaucrats in suits that are trying to give you a lot of money dictate what the health of this sport can be. There's no amount of money that can change how the health of this sport is going to go. 14-team playoff. Are you a damn buffoon? Are you a damn buffoon? How can you sit wherever it is that these suits sit and think to yourself that this is a good thing for the sport? It's not. It devalues the regular season. They can say all that they want to that it won't. But it doesn't matter what they tell me, because a game, for example, the game in the SEC that has everybody will watch this game in the SEC over the last 2 decades, last 20 years, has been LSU and Alabama. It loses its luster now, obviously, with Nick leaving, but you get what I mean. That game, even if Nick was here, loses its luster to some extent, because if either one of those teams lose and they get to 10 wins in the regular season, they're going to make a playoff and make a run any damn way. It does not matter. What has made this sport so intense, no, not camping, what has made this sport so intense is that you have to strive for perfection every single week. The intensity is up every single week. You're not going to get that now. I don't care what anybody tells you. They are lying through their freaking teeth if they tell you that it's going to be the same. It is not. That's like your girl telling you she's going out with her girls and they're going to the club, and she's going to dance, but I ain't going to tell you who I'm dancing with. What are you talking about? I know what you're going to do when you go out with the girls and y'all go to a club. You're going to shake your tail feather for dollar bills. Like, what do we, like, guys, come on. This shit is so simple. We have not even kicked off in a 12-team playoff, and they're already expanding, man. What's wrong with these people? You have told me and told me and told me. Some of you have pushed back on me saying this for so long. I've told you since 2020 that we needed a commissioner. I've gotten more hate. I will tell you, I've gotten more hate on we need a commissioner more than Miles Brennan, my Miles Brennan takes, my NIL takes,